Hi everyone, welcome back. So while everybody has been focusing so much on COVID-19 and the lockdown and wearing of masks and everything else, a lot of things have been happening underneath. So many news going on, so many things happening all around. And one of them is what we're going to be focusing now in this episode, and that's the Ondo State gubernatorial election. What is going on, what is happening at the moment, and all of that. So many enticing and so many scintillating things happening. Now, the question today is Agboola Ajayi, that's the deputy governor of Ondo State, running on the PDP platform? Is he going to be running on the PDP platform? Is he running for governor and all of that? So all those questions are the questions arising today. And then I'm going to be filling you on the background. The issue on ground is that there has been a problem between him and Akeredolu, that's the governor of Ondo State. There have been some issues around them between the two of them. They have been having quarrels and all sorts of things like that. And it was so serious that Fayemi had to intervene in it and try to do a little bit of mediating. But nothing really settled. It still continued going on and all of that. So it has been a very big problem for the APC part in Ondo State. And then, as if that was not enough, something else happened. Just out of the blue, something else happened. Now, recently, PDP unveiled a jingle, like a campaign jingle, that showed or that was campaigning for Agboola Ajayi on the PDP platform. Now, this man is with the APC. He is the running mate of Akeredolu. So now, suddenly, you are having the PDP coming out with a jingle, and this man's name is on it. So what's really happening? So many questions have been arising that, okay, what is happening? What sort of politics are these people trying to play? What sort of trickery are they trying to pull? Like, what is really going on underneath? So that's the question around at this moment. I mean, 2020 is a very weird year. Like, we're just in May. All sorts of things are just happening. When you think that you can never be surprised anymore, and then something else just pulls the rug right under your feet. So that's exactly what is happening. So now, PDP people have been saying that he is welcome, that's Agboola Ajayi is welcome to the party. Whenever he's ready to join, he can easily come in, so they are not discriminating and all of that. So what is really going on? That's the question. What is really happening? Now, there are two possibilities the way I see it. The first possibility is that the quarrel is so irreconcilable that Ajayi wants to run against his boss. Like, the quarrel is just so much that he just needs to run. And that will mean, and that sort of probably means that the jingle could be real. But if the jingle is fake, it probably means that PDP is just taking advantage of the quarrel between him and his boss in order to drive a wedge between Aketi and his deputy, just trying to foster and increase, just like they're pouring petrol on the quarrel in order to make sure that everything falls into disarray for them to be able to run. So that's exactly what they're trying to do. So those are the two possibilities. But if we're going to be considering those two possibilities, the first one now, why would he do that? Like, why would he want to run simply because of a quarrel? Like, why would he want to do that? Another possibility that's under that is that it probably means that he has always wanted to run and probably just used Aketi as a means to rise to prominence. Now, that is very unlikely. The more likely option is that he's probably scared that Aketi might lose the election. Now, if he's a running mate with Aketi, if Aketi loses the election, then he's going to be left in limbo. That is the problem. So it is possible that it is just using that opportunity for him to create a sort of better prospect for himself, create a better future for himself, so that he can have access to anyone. It kind of like it's going to free himself up in case their own ticket falters or if anything else happens. So it's kind of like he's keeping his options open. So that's exactly what it looks like to me. And that is if the jingle is real or if the quarrel is really irreconcilable. That's the possibility under that. But then we'll go to the second possibility, which is that the entire thing is just faked. Like, the PDP just faked it. Now, if the PDP faked it, it means that the PDP needs the commotion to weaken Aketi, because the election is getting very close, and then INEC is talking about using online voting very soon. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, but at least very soon, and all sorts of things are happening. Now, the PDP is trying to use this as a commotion, sort of put your enemy in disarray, put your enemy in confusion. It's a very significant battle tactic and battle strategy. So maybe that's exactly what the PDP is just trying to do, trying to create more chaos in the fight that's already going on. So if they end up putting him on a campaign stuff. So it's going to mean that he's going to have to start defending himself under his boss, which is going to make him feel like he's more loyal to his boss than anything on the outside. And if he's more loyal to his boss, it's going to affect his pride in the fight that's going on. So it's going to be very difficult for him to go on and apologize for his boss to his boss that nothing like that actually happened, while he's actually in a quarrel with his boss. So it's like they're trying to put him in a catch-22, in a situation where he's going to be damned whether he does, whether he doesn't, so much that he may actually decide at the end of the day that the best option he has is for him to just flee. So it's almost like they're actually using that to drive him towards themselves. So possible, very, very possible that they're just using this to cause the quarrel between him and his boss to become completely irreconcilable to the point where he does not have any prospect with his boss. He just has to leave, and if he leaves, he's going to go to the PDP. So maybe that's exactly what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to use them as one of their assets in the next election. That's very possible. Now, a whole lot of speculations going on at this point because we don't have all the information. This is what we have at the moment, and we don't want to be speculating. A lot of rumors flying around. So I'm only going to be speaking on the confirmed things happening, not all the rumors happening around. Of course, rumors could be true, but only on the things that we are completely certain of. Only on those things that are completely certain. Again, this is from what? This is coming from the nation's newspaper, not just from some low-level newspaper, from the nation. So it has been well researched. So this is actually what is happening. And then my own opinion is just this. The PDP is saying that they are going to be very welcoming towards Agboola Ajayi from APC. Now, this is something that has always annoyed me and angered me about Nigerian politics, which is that all these people are all the same. They are basically the same. They move like in the twinkle of an eye, they move from one party to the other. So they're basically the same. So if you are somebody voting in Nigeria and you're like, oh, APC is so good and all of that, and PDP is so bad and all of that, and you're not like a political, like somebody working for a party or whatever like that, I'm going to be very suspicious of your intelligence, because you have to understand that these people are basically the same. They are basically the same. Now, if you are somebody working for one of those parties and you're defending one of them vehemently, so no problem, I understand you're getting paid, no problem. But if you are just a regular Nigerian that's not involved in or practicing politics all that much, you are not affiliated with a particular party, and you are so enthusiastic about a particular party here, honestly, you probably have something going wrong, because these people are basically the same thing. Think about Atiku in the 2015 election, jumping around. Think about all of them. They jump from party to party. Suddenly, Atiku came back to PDP, and they accepted him. So these people are basically the same thing. All those governors jumping around, decamping all around. The people in the House of Reps, the people in the House of Assembly, all of them decamping. State houses, national houses of assembly, all of them, they are basically the same thing. There's no distinction. There's no ideological difference between the PDP and the APC. They are essentially the same people. Back then in 2015, they were always talking about how the PDP raided Nigeria for 16 years and all of that. But they were basically the people complaining at that moment. They are exactly the same people who were in the PDP raiding Nigeria then. They were the ones looting the country then. And then they switched over to APC, and suddenly it was almost like everything had become new. Whoa, all things have passed away. It's completely ludicrous. They are essentially the same thing. There's no ideological difference. For example, in the United States now, you understand that the Republicans want limited government, the Democrats want expanded government. They want the all this sort of assistance towards people and all sort of things like that, increase the welfare state and all of that for the Democrats. They want the government to expand. They want to create more regulations on the economy and sort of things like. But the Republicans want the free market. You can understand where those people stand. You understand them on the cultural level. You understand that the Republicans are against abortion. You understand that those people who are in the Democrat Party, for the most part, they are pro-abortion. They want abortion. They want abortion to be a guaranteed right and all of that. So you understand in a way what all those people, like, they decide where they all fall. But in Nigeria, there's no way for you to even understand what these people are standing for. And when you talk about all the 7-point agenda, whatever point of agenda that they have for whatever election they are going for, it is almost always identical. They all claiming the same thing. They all talk about the power. They all talk about exactly the same thing, and none of them will fix anything. So we have very inept politicians in this country. We are very inept leaders in this country, and we should stop all this attitude of sucking up to them every single time that there is an election, after bribing us with 5,000 naira and all of that. You have to stop sucking up to them. I understand that people are very desperate and they would rather go with 5,000 naira than go hungry that day. But we have to do something about this. Like, our country needs a real major overhaul of the way we think. We really need to change the way we think in this nation. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe. There is always a new video every single day. Click on the notification bell and choose all so that you'll be notified every time there is a new video. And bye.